Who would ever have thought that a comedy series about an animated horse would end up being the definitive TV study of mental illness? Never would have thunk it. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Smiley, and today I'm very, very excited, and actually quite sad to be talking with you guys about Bojack Horseman, the complete series, though we'll be mostly focusing on the 6th and final season. I will also be rating the series as a whole here, and goddamn guys, first of all, if you have not seen this show, I highly, highly recommend that you do that. This show is absolutely fucking incredible, and you need to see it. Let's talk about some of the cast first, because I know I'm just gonna totally lose myself in talking about this show, so let me just charge through the cast real quick. Will Arnett plays Bojack Horseman in just an incredibly nuanced role for a voice actor. He really, really does an incredible job giving a very layered performance to this character. Alison Brie from Community plays Diane, who is just all around awesome. She's a really deep, complex character, though all the characters in this show are deep and complex. Diane has a certain level of depth to her and really, really intriguing storylines throughout the series that really make her one of the greatest characters on this series. Aaron Paul plays Todd, who is absolutely the funniest character on this show. He is very often the comic relief to very, very serious episodes, and he does a phenomenal job. And if his legacy is Breaking Bad and Bojack Horseman, I say that's a fucking hell of a legacy. Though I do look forward to seeing him in a lot more things. Am I the only one that really wants a Todd spin-off show? Let me know in those comments below if you guys want to see a Todd spin-off show, because I would absolutely pay to see that. That sounds fucking awesome. Amy Sedaris plays Princess Carolyn, who is the constant in Bojack's life. She's always there for him as his agent, as his friend, and she gives an absolutely phenomenal performance. And she also has some absolutely hilarious word gags towards the later half of this series. Really, really funny stuff when they do a lot of the alliteration gags. And Paul Tompkins, of course, and I think I'm getting his name right, not entirely sure, but he plays Mr. Peanut Butter. And at first you might think that this is a one-note, happy all the time character, but as the series goes on, his character really develops and you start really getting this sense of depth to him that you just honestly did not know was there. And that's really, really fascinating, especially for a character that starts out very one-note. Not that that's a bad thing, he's a very funny character at first and a very loving character, but as the series goes on we eventually learn of emotional depths that he has that we just never knew of before, and I think that's a really, really interesting thing that they did with his character. Now, this series is absolutely mind-bending. Many episodes will make you laugh, some episodes will make you cry harder than you have ever cried in your fucking life. I mean, this is a really, really phenomenal series that tackles subjects from addiction to depression, family matters, dementia. There's all kinds of stuff packed into this show, and it's all done so incredibly well. And I do know some people who really don't like the fact how serious this show can sometimes get, and to those people I kind of say, well, then you just don't get it. Because the show is very funny when it wants to be funny, but it can also get very serious when it wants to be serious. This last season, especially season 6, took a much more serious tone than the rest of the series. Not that there aren't absolutely gut-busting, hilarious episodes in there. I mean, there absolutely are. But the season is more focused on that emotional nuance that it's been known for over these years. And it's so hard to do a final season right when halfway through making it, Netflix just comes up to you and is like, oh hey, by the way, this is gonna be your last season. And they absolutely fucking nailed it. And that's something that not many shows can do. I mean, Game of Thrones knew when it was ending and they completely fucked it up. Rafael Bob Waxberg had no idea that season 6 was gonna be his last season, and he absolutely nailed it. Rafael Bob Waxberg, if you don't know, is the creator of this show. And the ending is really, really solid. It's really touching. It really feels like the entire series coming together in this very, very emotional moment. And I do think there's some room to debate what actually happened in the very end of the series, but I'll leave that as a topic for another time because I really, really don't want to get into spoiler territory here. But yeah, for now I'll just say they absolutely fucking nailed it. And seeing this journey of Bojack, this very damaged character, this character that wants to be good, but inevitably finds himself doing horrible things, a lot of which we actually see on screen. This is very much his redemption story, or his attempted redemption story. It's touching and fulfilling and absolutely incredible right to the very end. And I really, really commend the creators of this show for doing such a phenomenal job with this series. I can't think of another show that can switch tones like this and maintain hilarity and seriousness at the exact same time. Even within the same episodes, if there's a very serious thing going on, there's very often a very silly thing going on, and they manage to blend just absolutely well, and that is total credit to the writers and the actors, of course. Everyone who worked on this show just did absolutely phenomenally. And so I really have no other choice but to give it a 10 out of 10 because this show is a fucking masterpiece. Yes, it is a goddamn fucking masterpiece. I am going ahead, I'm giving it that 10 out of 10, and it goddamn deserves it because it is one of the best shows you will ever do yourself the favor of watching. So yeah, that's about it for this one. Tune in Friday when I'll be reviewing Mr. In-Between, which is a phenomenal series on FX. And so yeah, I'll see you guys then. Leave a like on this video if you liked it. Leave a dislike if you didn't like it. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what you guys thought of Bojack Horseman. And as always, I hope you guys have an amazing week. Keep it kosher. Peace.